Hi, Phoenix here. Today we're going to run a starting pitcher through Mystic Unicorns using a deck that I've used before in the past. This deck has 3 MU trainers. They're URs, Violet, Lilith, and Pluto. And here we're going to take a look at some of the cores equipped on them. Features some affinity boosts, some skill discounts, and some max stamina boosts as well for good measure. This deck only has one combo event, unfortunately, but we'll make do somehow. And once we switch this over to super left arm, I'll show you the number of max skills, which is 10. We are going to try to go for the all-rounder title, which gives us 450 extra intelligence at the end of the run, but requires 20 skill upgrades in the pitch category that are not foreseen. So we're going to run this with a Baseball Gods manual today, along with tarot cards, as well as the sub-items that extend week 7 to 4 turns, as well as let us see the hot and cold zones of the batters that we'll be facing today. So here we are at week 1, Mystic Unicorns. This scenario has an incredibly high ceiling, so we could conceivably make an R player today, and it has a pretty low floor, and that's a high risk, high reward sort of aspect of this scenario. Week 1 is pretty standard. We're just going to go through trainer introductions. So here I see that there's a Violet. I see that there's 2 MU trainers, so I pick that training with Lilith and Pluto. And I don't spend any stamina, which is great. So week 1's all about trying to conserve your stamina for week 2. And the reason for that is that you're not accumulating any mana to go towards purchasing any gems. So here I see that there's 3 UR trainers, 2 of them are MU. That's almost like a free perfume in that you get to up their affinity, and so I try to maximize that where I can get multiple URs in one training, up their affinity. And the higher the affinity, the more likely they have special training, and that will help the run overall. I'm going to go for the personal training, hoping that there's a skill discount. Unfortunately, there isn't, but at least it's a stamina boost. That helps. You notice that some of my cores are super boosted, and that helps. And already in week 1 we have a special training for 127 mental, which is great. So Mystic Unicorns is a lot like gambling in a way, in that there is the potential for great gains with particularly the red gem, which boosts your training, and the green gem, which gives you skill discounts. There I got 3 hard missions, perfect. So we're going to quick play this and try to complete as many flash missions during these games as we can to get additional skill points to pay for these skills. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this game so that we don't spend the entire video watching me play baseball. The 3 gems I'm going to target during this run will be the green gem, which gives skill discounts per each trainer that's on it at the time. It can help mitigate the necessity of a BGM. The other 2 gems will be the red gem, obviously for the meme trainings, and the yellow gem is needed for stamina. The problem with MU is the highly RNG dependent nature of the scenario, so we're going to have to adapt as each situation arises, and if we're unable to get the red gems, we're going to do our best to salvage the run any way we can. In retrospect, perhaps I should have created a reliever or closer, but you can create some pretty good starters in Mystic Unicorns as well. So we have 12 strikeouts, well on our way to our goal, our season mission of 40 strikeouts. And now we're entering week 2 for Mystic Unicorns. And here we're going to see a brief introduction to the 4 different jeweled necklaces that we're going to have the opportunity to collect. And we're going to be targeting the red occasionally to get those training boosts, the green for sure for those vital skill discounts, and the yellow as needed to manage our stamina. So here I'm looking at a training with Violet and Pluto. That's perfect. Get to up their affinity right off the bat together. And we get a potential stamina recovery event here with Whispering Trophy. So I'm going to go ahead and touch it, cover our stamina, and get a nice healthy boost of mana. Looking at special training, going to pick the one with Leone and Pluto just because I actually value the stats more than G points at this point. And we get our first jewel training after we have our initial meeting with Leone and get the boosts from the cores that we have equipped on her. And wow, we have a special training of only 80 for mental, but we have a great green jewel with 3 trainers on it, 2 of whom are URs plus a personal training. So let's see what we get. And we get stamina. That's not bad for personal training, but what do we have for skill discounts? 3 of them, but 2 of them are SSRs, and they are max skills that we're targeting, so perfect. So hopefully we get a few more of those great green jewel trainings. And I'm going to go for the mental training because it gives a little more mana, and it gives us a discount in double step, perfect, which is another skill that we're targeting. So our week 2 is coming to a close, and off we are to game number 2.
Stay focused. Everyone is counting on you.
So typically there's a drop off between game number 1 and game number 2 in terms of the number of strikeouts you can get. Opponents get a little harder, or for whatever reason RNG decides to be a little more finicky. But we're going to go ahead and play the flash missions that show up here. And we'll see whether or not I can put this batter out. And so between all the different scenarios, it's typically accepted that MU has potential for some great memes stats, where we can hit, 1,000, even 2,000 stats in a single training. The highest I've seen is that I've personally experienced, has been in the 1,700 range. But that's only happened once or twice. Typically, they're much lower, anywhere between 800 to 1,400 would be something typical that I would see in a run, and hopefully we'll see one of those here. But again, it's all up to RNG. I might have to settle for a series of trainings for 400 or 500 and try to build up my mental stat that way. So you just have to roll with the punches and try to save the run as best you can, and that's what I'm going to try to demonstrate here. So we're going to have a series of flash missions in a row here, so apologize, but I'm going to have to end up manual pitching these just to make sure that we end up with, wow, another one, end up with as many skill points as possible. The reason for this is that obviously I want to be able to pay for the skills I have. 10 max skills, a few of them UR and a whole lot of them SSR, and it gets quite expensive even with the Baseball Gods manual. The great potential that I see in Mystic Unicorns is that you can run a deck perhaps without needing a Baseball Gods manual and with the right skill discounts. And so if you have a lot of good green gem trainings where you're getting discounts on the skills that you're targeting, then you potentially don't need a Baseball Gods manual. And in fact, my closer that I'm using right now was created in Mystic Unicorns using a skills book and the UR Captivating Perfume, which boosts affinity of all the trainers to 50 in week 1. And I ended up with a skill rating of in the low 80s. I think it was 83 or 84, and a fantastic closer that I haven't had to rerun. Hopefully in this run we'll end up with a skill rating somewhere between the mid 70s or higher, which will give us the best chance of a high triple S or even an R-rated starting pitcher. So here I'm just going to try to skip through these batters as best I can and take us through to week 3. And my basic rule of thumb with these runs is that in week 3 I want to have around, on average, close to 6,000 total stats. Probably not at 6,000, but you know, that means around anywhere between 1,200 to 1,1600 in each stat. That gives me sort of a beat on how the run's going, and you know, it helps me adjust. Oops, only 6Ks for this given run, but in week 3 means, hooray, we might actually be able to buy some UR gear. Let's see what we can get. This deck in particular has the opportunity to get a ball, glove, and shoes. 2 sets of shoes, in fact, I believe, with Yomi and Leone. So we have an event, and oh man, I just maxed out skill points because of the combo event that I had not counted on. So that's a mistake. I should have managed my skill points a little better. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the tail. So here we go. We're gonna just hit Slurve because it has a pretty decent discount. Gonna see what else we have here. Don't really want to pick super left arm yet, but I'll pick speed control. I'll pick the lower rank skills for discounts that are max, that have a potential max skill, sorry, and going to go for the event with 2 URs. Oop. And I get Leone's cleats first. We're gonna probably go, I don't know about the skill event. Probably going to go for, yep, G point training. Get us a higher amount of mana. And take the hit by drinking elixir and taking the hit of stamina, but oh shoot, and a skill discount that we can't use. And as much as it pains me to say this, probably going to have to go for the skill discount with only 1 trainer on it. And the personal training didn't pan out, it was just 20 mental, but and just a rare skill. So here we are, looking to spend some skill points before we take on another gem. Instead of spending on the UR SSR skills, I'm looking at the R skills or the cheaper skills because we are expecting to get more significant discounts. So I'm trying to conserve our skill point usage at this point, especially considering that I messed up earlier and went over the skill point cap because of the combo event. So here we're looking at a green gem with 2 potential skill discounts from Leone and Dragona. So let's see what we end up with here. And we end up with our 3rd green gem, SP Resolve, and which is one that we need to max out, and the other one, Heavy Ball, not really one that is maxed, a potential max skill, but we're going to use it anyway. We're collecting more skill points. We're a little low on stamina, and I'm just seeing what the options are here. And there's a couple of interesting trainings with Lilith and Violet. There's no one for skill training, so we're going to use our tarot cards. And here we get an event that, yes, adds a little mana, but I'm hoping for something that actually adds a lot more mana because I'm going to aim for the yellow gem to restore stamina. Thank you, Pluto. And we also get a discount on Screwball. Definitely going for the yellow gem. Wish it wasn't on skill training, but we'll use it anyway. The reason for that is that skill training is gives us the least amount of mana out of all the different training options available. So hooray, we get some stamina back and increased our max stamina, and we're ready to move on to the next game after we talk with Dragona. And get a slight discount on Super Left Arm, which is always helpful. Alright, and on to game 3. At this point I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So while I run this game at, what is it, 1000% or 10 times speed here, hopefully we won't suffer seizures going through this, and we will basically see that I am trying my best to just do the flash missions to get whatever skill points I can, and skipping over what is unnecessary, sometimes manual pitching to try to save and avoid letting in too many runs, and hopefully winning the game. And here we go. 8 strikeouts, not bad. So typically, obviously with a pitcher run, you can technically lose 2 games and still make it to week 7 to the championship, but I'd rather not take my chances. So here we are in week 4, hooray! Our stats are looking pretty good. We are approaching about 6,000-ish. Total stats. There's Violet's UR gear, the ball. Great. Time to spend some skill points, not make that mistake like I did earlier. Try to keep my skill points roughly around 750, but when I don't, mistakes happen. Oop. Nice special training with 3 UR trainers, 2 of them mental, that have the special training triggered, and that's a nice freebie. And I get Lilith's special, Lilith's event, so that helps give me a little more mana. And we get max discount on Screwball, which now only costs a magic 5 skill points to max out per nib. So there we go. And double discount, we get specialized mental training plus hopefully 2 good discounts. Not bad. One of them is an SSR training, but unfortunately we've maxed out our green gems and we should focus on the other ones. Ooh. And we have a 45% discount on Supersonic Pitch thanks to Lilith. I'm going to go ahead and grab that while I can. Oh, another 3 UR trainers. Unfortunately, only Pluto was on fire, but it helps us. Resolve is always welcome, so a discount on that helps us. And we get a costume event from Violet as well, so that's another 40 mana. And so now we're just trying to chain this up so that we end up getting as many necklace events in a row as we can. Yeah, the mental training is tempting, but I'm going to go for the yellow gem, boost up some stamina, and get that extra bonus of larger strength stats, so that larger strength bonus that she's giving us. Thanks to Leone, who is a force unto herself. Specky Possessed will give us stamina, but I don't need it because I just got the yellow gem. So I'm going for Leone. And it's time to look at our skill points again because we're dangerously high. So we're checking things out. Heavy Ball is pretty well discounted. And because we're going for the all-rounder title, we do need to pretty much max out our pitching skills. But we're going to wait for those because there's not enough discounts yet. And it's time for game 4. And you can see that we're achieving our hard missions. We're making good progress. And now we're going to fast forward 10 times speed and hopefully make it through this without too much of a headache, as you can see me skipping and just doing the flash missions as they turn up. So as we make our way through this and hopefully finish the game with a W, hooray, with 6 strikeouts, we're making good progress on our season missions. And now here's the critical week 5 for rapport, where we have 3 MU trainers, and I'm hoping I get rapport with one of them, whether it's Violet, who's costumed, Pluto, who's costumed, and lastly Lilith, who does not have a costume but is still an excellent trainer. And go ahead and just pick the training with Pluto because it's specialized. I was debating whether or not to get one of the personal training. Still kind of second guessing myself on that decision, but here we are trying to get rapport. So anyone in the first table would be fantastic. Yes, we get Violet with her bunny hair thingy accessory. So we accept, and that gives us a boosted super skill. And we have 3 people. Ooh, nice. All 3 MU trainers, 2 of them on fire. Going to select it. Thinking about whether or not to boost it, and this is going to haunt me because I believe I am not going to boost it. And that might impact my final rating. But the blue gem helps boost everybody's affinity to 100. Not that I really needed it, but again, that might come back to haunt me because I wasn't hunting for the blue gem. And I might max out my skill points, so it came dangerously close. I'm just seeing what's available. Not bad for the yellow gem. Need to max that out. So I'm looking at yellow and blue as potential max outs. I'm weighing my options. I'm gonna go ahead and try to spend some skill points. A lot of people aren't a fan of maximum effort. I don't think it's that bad, so I go ahead and max that out. And now let's get some stamina and some extra mental training points. And please may we get an event. Yes, we do get an MU event, which helps us max up our mana over 100% again, so we get to pick another gem. Let's see. Oh, it's not red, but should we go after a red gem potentially and get the G points? Because we're low on 3275 and I'm looking at getting a few more pieces of UR gear. I go for it. Decide to get some health from Specky Possessed instead of the mana from the other event. And I go ahead and max out Resolve. And whether or not I should have gotten mana from that other event is going to haunt me. But here we are, Game 5, as we fast forward through it. And so I made a few mistakes on this run, which made it not optimal. I maxed out on skill points once. As you can see, I did not boost that one training for 276 mental, which still bothers me because that would have potentially, been in the high 400s. And sometimes, I haven't gotten that meme training from the red gem yet, and I might have to just take whatever bonuses I can along the way of 400, 500, 600, and try to build my way towards that 5,000 total. So here we are entering week 6, and I have yet to hit that one big training for the red gem yet. But here we have, wow, 3 of them. And I'm already rethinking my earlier decision, so I'm boosting this training. 329 now becomes 494. Going to go ahead and take it, which helps boost me up a little bit. I'll go ahead and pick the MU trainer event with Violet and take the risk to get a huge discount on max effort. There is a huge discount available, so I go ahead and go with the green gem with the 3 UR trainers. Hope that I get something good. And I do! Max resolve. And I get a trainer event with Violet. A plus event on top of that, which is awesome. Well, I'm maxing out on skill points, so it's time to learn some skills and see what I can spend those skill points on. So I'll go ahead and max out Knuckle Curve. I see that Forkball and Knuckleball aren't discounted yet. Go ahead and finish off Speed Control. No, actually Accuracy Control is a little better. Just don't max it out, but get that total skill point total down to 711. And I see that I can get Pluto's Glove. So hooray! I've got all the pieces of UR gear I can get. The 5 you see there are for, because there's 2 gloves available. And basically dupes, but I've got everything that I need. I just need to save up for a decent cap. So I'm getting another MU trainer event, which is perfect. So I'm maximizing my ability to, ooh, left arm, but now is the time to go ahead and max out super left arm. Wish I had more of a discount on double step. Looking at hunting the yellow, red, or blue gem. Oh, which one? Which one? Let's go for the yellow gem because nothing's special and not on fire. So at least we advance the yellow gem up, and hopefully we have enough stamina to carry us through week number 7. Unfortunately, we get Yomi, but I mean, we've been getting a lot of MU trainer events, so that was inevitable. And we get some stamina back, and our moods increased. So as we enter week 7, as we fast forward through game 6 here, have 2 choices to make. Do I go for the red gem or the blue gem? And again, it's just adapting and it's highly situational, so I'm going to have to roll with the punches. Obviously, I'd like to go for the red gem, and it's meme training, so hopefully I get a nice big specialized training on the red gem. Try to hit that 5k mental attribute that I'm looking for. I believe I'm currently at around 4100. Other 2 stats are looking pretty good at around 2k for strength and dex. I believe intelligence is down to, but with us getting the all-rounder title, or hopefully getting the all-rounder title, they'll add another 450 int and be around 1600 hopefully. So here we are entering week 7. Let's hope that we get some good red meme trainings. So here we can see that we have almost 1400 intelligence, which is our lowest attribute. Hopefully the all-rounder will help boost that with an extra 450 at the end of the game. Let's see what we have for training. We're not quite there at 100% mana yet. Ooh, 220. It's lower than 276 we missed earlier, but we're in week 7, so we need to boost it. Let's take a look at what I can max out here, or at least spend some skill points on. Speed control is a little high at 65. Ooh, accuracy control is better. It's more discounted, so let's go ahead and max that out instead. Let's go ahead and get that 330 mental training. And let's hope for a great red gem after this event, which is by Yomi. Okay. Let's go ahead and try to strike her out. Hope for some extra G points along the way to help us pay for any equipment and gear that we're missing. Let's strike 2, and let's do 1 more. Alrighty, so let's take a look and see what we have for our next training after we skip through this. Alright, oh, nothing's on fire. Okay, so which train do we go for? Red or blue? Oh, don't need the glove. Well, let's go for the blue. Let's try to at least max one skill out. Or come close to. Maybe at least get 3 gems. And of course we don't get an MU trainer. So, thanks for going. Oh, at least we got a discount on Knuckleball, so that's going to help us. And let's go ahead and use some tarot cards to try to get an attempt to get more mana and hopefully get us another attempt. Shoot, only 30. Alright, we get one more attempt. I'm looking at my skill points. What can I spend on? Let's go ahead and make use of that Knuckleball discount because we're unlikely to get another discount. And let's pick for the special training and the skill points. I guess this will be our last MU jewel attempt. Go ahead and go for Senior Possessed because I believe the Dragona training doesn't give quite as much. And cheer Yomi on. And get a great discount on speed control. Oh, something's on fire and it's not. Okay. Well, haven't gotten a lot of good meme trainings. I haven't gotten any meme training at all, but we've limped along and we've come close. Just not close enough, even with the friend support here, to break 5,000 mental, which is a little disappointing. Has me a little concerned whether or not we can break through that triple S5 barrier. Or even if we'll make triple S5, we'll take a look at our skills after this. And of course, now we get the MU Trainer event. And we have no more turns. Okay, so let's go spend some skill points and go shopping. So we max out double step. I know I'm going to get 600 plus skill points by the end of the game, so let's go ahead and max out speed control. What else can we do? We try to max out Strikeout King and Fortune, and so I'm looking at the max number to max out my skill rating and the highest level, so I'm trying to go for the SR skills and the UR skills obviously and the SSR, and saving the R skills and the N skills for last. Okay, I'm checking my missions. I am going to make it. I have given up over 10 hits, so I'm not going to get Black Hole, which is exactly what I want to avoid getting the Black Hole title, because I want that all-rounder title for the 450 int to help with balancing the picture, as well as adding to that stat total. Hopefully getting not just RR ability and an RR ability rating, but a high RR, if that makes sense, to counteract the fact that my skill rating is not going to hit R. So fingers crossed as we finish the last game of the season. And let's see what we end up with at the very end here. And we win! Hooray! So, on to the fun part. Let's see what... Oh, just barely over 4,800 mental. So close. So close, yet not 5,000. And we have a ton of skill points. And, no, we already maxed out Super Left Arm, but let's go ahead. Oh, yay, we get some SSR gear. Too bad it's not plus, but still something. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we can do for our skills. And I'm going to reduce Forkball to 1 because I just want to make sure I have enough to pay for everything else. I'm still going to get All-Rounder with Forkball at 1 because the Knuckleball is at 4. Alright, go ahead and max out the 4-seam. Or not max it out, but max out what we can max out, I guess, to the limit of 4-star. Get Mr. Zero in bold. Let's see what else. We're at 20. Oof. So we've learned 20 skills, which is our maximum. We have 226 skill points left over. Hit complete and realized I could have added another nib to Forkball. But we got the all-rounder title, 450 int. Yay! RR triple S skill rating. That's nice. What do we end up with? A healthy R0. Not bad. Past the halfway mark, so it's reasonably strong. So although we didn't hit any meme trainings, I did mismanage the skill points a little bit. We still ended up with an excess of 226 skill points, 90 skill rating, and on top of that, managed to salvage the run, get close to 4,900 mental. Was hoping secretly to break 5,000, closer to 5,500, 6,000 is where I've seen this deck give an R1 rating for a pitcher, but R0 is still pretty respectable. Hopefully you learned from my mistakes and hopefully picked up a couple of tips and tricks along the way. Thanks for sitting through this run with me. Until the next time, take care. Bye.